for ni ahwefo na ahwe ansa na mewura transfers nim kra no mame ending komo kakra ewo enura FIFA Club World Cup call ni because nkofo interest ewo ho on say enura team City share by na match na nipa dodo na follow no ye Real Madrid any Hilal game no because of enkomododo na Jabi Alonso edi say season we no Real Madrid for ball no wakasa bebre afa ho se obesesa no so na nipa dodo na ekohwe Jabi Alonso star be na Real Madrid for ne be ball insisa yi be ba na so na nkofo adwen kran se da any results ne so kese by the style of play, the approach of Real Madrid anana na nkofo hwehwe on say before the game na Jabi Alonso akasa say ye be proactive football ye be rock and roll football enti obi ekohwe say Real Madrid ensem na Jabi Alonso kan ye no betimenya total dominance be beautiful football attractive football de be control game na any ade ana nipa dodo na kwa akotwe by kwaku nukura wo ni ye say ye hu ni sa. And me personally as a Real Madrid fan na me expect to say Jabi Alonso be ni menimu ya no or be say Real Madrid for style of play within some few days enti na me de nim say entimi nkonya sa ensisa ye bebre or Real Madrid style of play nim by na hu be hia say ye ba akọ hwese ye be hu signs bi say ensisa ye be ba na kwaku in as much as enra yanse de hu Real Madrid da or dominate Hilal for no omo ba attractive football no mi hu Jabi Alonso a ade na opese oye no mi hu kakra o mentimi anyo by mi hu science ne say this particular style of play this approach ana Jabi Alonso pese obo on say na odi kan boy back four no boy no sa wa hwe Jabi Alonso wo Liverpool sina anytime bia no say wan nya back three no oba back four so no ni krabo na opese onya back 3 enti kwaku se o follow Jabi Alonso ye share game na se no na we no under 1 minute 1 minute no Jabi Alonso back 4 na o sha se se obebo no anytime bi o mbe krabo ni bia no Arnold Trent Alexander-Arnold move inside ebeka Tchouaméni hu na back 4 no abeda ne back 3 because Frank Garcia abeka no abeka Dinhausen ana Asensio ho na ye back 3 na Arnold emuvi abanfinfin ho no obeka Tchouaméni ho sa Tchouaméni no obeka ne ho no allow Jude Bellingham ana Fede Valverde say omo moving ko manim kakra the moment ombe movie akọ manim no anytime ya na Jabi Alonso expect say Vini Junior ana Rodrigo be stay wide so anytime bi Jabi Alonso be kura ball ni bia no de mi hu ni say no person Real Madrid for use a 3-3 enu Jabi Alonso ade a di kan hu ye no se Real Madrid for krabo ni bia na in possession or pese almost a structure no 3-3 and the reason why your pese 3-3 ni say or pese or build it from the back I now say Arnold abeka midfielders na no obenya numbers won finfin to control the game so o control game no won finfin wa or won fini on the left or Rodrigo on the right on betimasa expanded the wide area now wetimi utilizes our wings so or build it from the back no when you control in the midfield no was say utilize your wings no and no the style of play na Jabi Alonso episode use by no kre wo ma won here say boys no omuntimi enti ase untimi use one game emfa enti ase because one a chain now person or build it from no the me hu ni say e only Dinhausen and a ball kra na no comfortable apart from Dinhausen players are no more tron so more build it from the back are no munye too comfortable and am finfin na Jabi Alonso expected Real Madrid for me for this say ombe control game no obi to say Tchouaméni onye ball controller Tchouaméni enye deep lying playmaker Tchouaméni eye destroyer and oye distributor ne de ne say obegere wa beje ball obesay opponent play na we jai ball nim ne de no onye deep lying playmaker enti ebe take time ansa na Tchouaméni at Jabi Alonso system na say obi to say Fede Valverde oye destroyer oye distributor and oye ball carrier onye controller enti ono so be take time kakra say ufa Jude Bellingham de no say obe hold the ball obe distribute obe carry ball no obe protect ball no obe timi adrive ball no de ball na kọ nanim ono so nye typical controller enti ade ba kwa Real Madrid for lucky say typical midfield obe control game dia momo obe ti say Vitinha obe ti say Pedri la ni bi no Frankie de Jong Real Madrid for lack a ball controller
me ba cho o ball controller na wo kan no 6 die ni bia na say they be create ebia 8 die ni bia na say 10 because looks like Florentino Perez a creative midfielder and coach no so air 6 will be controlling no
omo hia ni mienu
sa
yes Madrid hia a deep lying playmaker et say Vitinha obegina defenders nanim on the better direction of play ball in left and right yem calm game ne down yen distribute ball no on the be deep line obegina defenders nanim obehia bi and obese hia at offensive midfield or creative a obetima breaking lines
no come me 3-man midfield say ye de mienu sa be shemu a one ye dropping no
and me sure say boys no mo no betima ye mpokre be take time eni me enimu ya de emfa
in a case say yanto ebia ma no midfield ho a sa 6 ho no e benye obi ama na gba na
entine nu amehwe entine na nu na me hu ne say or try say Arnold more time obey invert no
no mbeboa kakra
no mbeboa mfimfio that's the reason why mostly na Arnold e invert no mbeboa mfimfio because obey hia midfielder onimbo ni kura enti Real Madrid the Real Madrid fan na fashion team say better give time because Oma Bonda Carlo Ancelotti Real Madrid ball ni direct transitional omo nim ball na yem fam kura yem build it from the back yem control mfimfi yenyi opponent nim frame no afina enye so nim yoba enye omo style of play no
ebe
take time kakra ana say no awo hwe ya ma me time na omo press no on say Jabi Alonso ye say opese olusu ball mo be press tentem enu ye shake game na say no me notice ade ba ko time no
1 minute 26 seconds
Real Madrid for yesterday
omo air pressing corner start attack and Madrid rise from there no
enti on Jabi Alonso anyo opese de Real Madrid say ye lose ball na no eni si ye ma opponent ni kura ball ni che e wo say ye press yo mo but no so enye Real Madrid first star ni say obe press high
enra edrum pempen so bi ase na omo de mu di agro no mu ntimi press well
because say Real Madrid for no air press ya omo ani mo na press ya ube hia players no mu atron say omo be back the press enti the pressure ni betu opponent ni so onya comfortable onya time on relax enti won the pressure na opponent with teammates ni back press na either say player ni be your mistake obeje bo na free ni say na so be call long but in the case of Real Madrid say omo press ya obi am back press no enti ema hilafo no enya space enya time na afede omo de Madrid for di agro enti uyi video no sa video na uyi no sanka kan betima say yibi ma
ba chomo fanfa TV no so kwa maye why
omo ball ma abate no omo ball ma abate sa because Real Madrid for press higher omo ntimi back press ema spaces in between the lines no enti na easy say hilafo no betime kra ball a progressive no enti sa ohwe ya etre Jabi Alonso hu say emu aye di enti na wo say o shift call ne normal 442 enti ombe ball ma abate sa
na cho video ni nie
sana abro ne tie omunim hawa ye press yi pa enye omo style no on say Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti opponent ni kura bomba be gu akira na the ball na bo mu wini ball na ne abo ne transition by say Jabi Alonso pese omo press na omo yere oje ball no enti a gradual process enye just one match e be take time
a good year pa no
but problem e wo ni ye say Real Madrid so entimi ma sa time no problem kakra mi so de ma Jabi Alonso no after players ni be take time on say after the game ana koto aka say omo ntimi nyusu just 3-4 days and fans say omo style of play abra omo adapted to a style of play for almost 4 years e be take time and sa time na e be take no omo be adapting them so one adapting them a o be La Liga o be UEFA Champions League so when ntimi adapting them now La Liga Barcelona sa twu mu bebre Champions League go sa ko free ma na mfa so be na wo so misro kakra e de ma Jabi Alonso by second half no adagula e be no ase bi hu say na Real Madrid for play ne ye kakra because adagula no timi kura ball ne kakra na second half no na ye ba kwakwade ba ko a miyem sa hye me se wo notice ya Real Madrid for defend no Arnold na obo right back ana Frank Garcia na obo left back no time they are no move back inside narrowly anytime they are Real Madrid be defending no Arnold na obo right back and Frank Garcia na obo left back no omo move back inside narrowly oh expect to say Real Madrid four wingers Rodrigo ni Vinicius Junior na ebe occupy sa wide area ho in terms of defense. Say Real Madrid left back no right back move narrowly a. Omo pese omo stop Hilal for ne say omo nya sa central control. Yeah. But problem omo face in say anone Frank Garcia e move narrowly a. Abrantia your friend Vinicius Junior ni Rodrigo and occupy wide area ho enti Hilal for no omo switch play call left right unhu omo captain no. How I know the Real Madrid food agro no mo tete anod. And Sesana Jabi Alonso beya any okosia Barcelona more good wingers omo ko for Nico Williams be kan ho ani ya so beya shiu. I
think say ye nyina ye kin omo hiamre.
Aha
ebini because say no defenders no mu defend narrowly. Who defend narrow the others we jai
wide
areas na dia ma opponent.
And to train na akonya team o good wingers a obekum.
Asemo.
Ana say Barca akonya Lamine no nya Nico Williams a on be ha ya adwe.
Inti comfort the pass over bare 36 passes number 9 can ball.
Debbie.
Hey!
And you better take time, Gwaku.
Eradi Yesu.
Oh, yeah, Madrid fan, no one abotre kakre better take time.
36 more, baby. You
better take time. But me ojidi ese befa.
Okay.
Me ojidi ese befa by enya ni menimu ya. And most especially remember the kosheti mu nimbo kradia. Ene mbaye dene.
Ti we Hilal for kra na pass be 36 and Barca. Ayo ni on beji be.
Oh, maybe when you say e better take time. E better take time by befa.
I think we all agree say it will take time.
E better take time. E better take time. Kwaku ma member transfers ne so ma na bigi embra. Onsa wuko Italy, the most successful club ewo Italian Serie A, the old ladies Juventus. Omaji Serie A ne 36 times. Now recently, Napoli and Inter Milan na dominate Italian Serie A no. Juventus impenyi for say ompese omo sabeji Italian Serie A no. No omo pe leaders ewo every department. No mechire ho no omo so omo ni leader. Enti omo ko Barcelona. Barcelona for a captain. Omo player, omo center back. Ronald Araujo. Omo kwa akofa no. Juventus for say ombe here leader ewo mechiro enti omo ko Barcelona na Barcelona omo defender Ronald Araujo Juventus for akwa akofa no no omo ogidie say omo de offer emu edu eba akoma Barcelona for no no omo sa de offer emu edu akoma Ronald Araujo no omo de sa offer no koma team na omo ogidie so mbenya samra Ronald Araujo amana be si akan de ama Juventus na no adua Juventus for afa on say Nico Williams abeto dwa say Barcelona betimi afa no ma register na omo financial fair play space no e was say omo timi free 25 million euros enti Barca na e was say Barcelona ton player kese baako na free sa space no omo betimi register Nico Williams na omo betimi ton player baako a ene abrante friend say eye Ronald Araujo eka ho and the release clause no from 1st July to 15th of July reduce about 65 million euros. Enti Juventus esi omo ko Barcelona akofa Ronald Araujo. When the king say Thomas Partey issue ne ho. Na kwaku de atuemu nie. Thomas Partey ne Arsenal komodie no slow down kakra. Na slow down ni nyina na ye say Arsenal for Partey so obetena. Partey pese otena London because oni nebusuafo asset wo London. Enti Arsenal for say Partey pese otena. Partey so person otena Arsenal sanka problem bi ani ho. By problem ama sa adi oni nyina o matimi stop ni nyina yeskasem. Mame Arsenal for omo salary omo wages no. Arsenal for wages no. The odis kakese power Arsenal. As it stands now, Kai Havertz £280,000 a week. Ana Kai Havertz edge. Gabriel Jesus etosu mienu. Odegaard tosu miensa. Declan Rice etosu fourth. Ana Partey etosu fifth. Enti Arsenal players ni na di ojiska kese pa no di otosu fifth. Thomas Partey. £200,000 a week. Na sa £200,000 a week no. Odi ko year na £10.4 million a year. Enti during the negotiation between Arsenal and Thomas Partey, onim say Thomas Partey oyanda JJ Sports. And sa JJ Sports no, executive director for JJ Sports, Jose Daniel Jimenez. On the director for JJ Sports. On the Arsenal for wedding common, and on say, Samon Pesamude aketweni bibeka humpo krana. Ye maintain £200,000 na Partey no. And Arsenal for say, enchebi omo be renew Bukayo Saka contract. Omo the Bukayo be ko £300,000 a week. And na Partey age no. And come person omo so. Na diama papa friend say Jose Daniel Jimenez book free ni say. kwaku tena on person omote so no ye tete se anka on person omote so almost be half e ka hu bi na ye say omatwentwen so no anka on person omote so be half
pata semidi
enti eyes kasem nti na patedie no enso so akwa kosi sa no enti so far dey say Saudi for naba Atletico Madrid wo ho AC Milan Juventus then Fenerbahce Galatasaray Barcelona ne patedie no kwaku die tie nie se Barcelona be call for pata aje so maton ora Romeo se pata betima move akọ Barcelona aje so ora Romeo free Barcelona
na Romeo no bi beto
se so munya tofo enti se pata situation no na Ghana ni abrantie Jerome Opoku center back Jerome Opoku na nse ya na mpese me Ghana for no transfers nim ma hu se Kudus okeka no ho kakra Semenyo okeka no ho kakra Salisu okeka no ho kakra na Jerome Opoku enra me de Kamal Din Edie bro the center back I will see a kind of Istanbul Basaksehir oh yeah Ghana Blasters player Jerome Opoku onim say season na end no onya fine season for Turkish league no Galatasaray for ne Istanbul Basaksehir for din komo for Jerome Opoku I say Istanbul Basaksehir for no up 9 million euros for Jerome Opoku because of the performance o showcase here enti Galatasaray for eba na kwaku Barcelona for ni ntie mi no mu nyi o masum say Barca for no masum yi o mo de brutal Nico Williams kwaku na ni bre na abre so person Barcelona no esen krodom ni nyina na yese onim say nra Bilbao for ne ko na busuafo ho Bilbao ko Nico Williams busuafo say omunye busuafo ne be kasa ontena Bilbao krom ho a medical be catch say omo free Basque region e Spain no eya den somebody disrespecting mpanyimfo entenna okay the last summer esi ye no mpanyimfo ni hu na busuafo na omo ne boy ne kasa na adwen sesan enu omo se akọ hu na busuafo se on person omo ne kasa na boy na adwen sesa the open bi omo ya ma no te say the last time the only betu the highest paid player of Bilbao bonuses omo ka bia akra ne se da bi da gbede onjintu last summer sana mo ka kire me we die dem beke bia no impanyimfo onye se mibu manimtia meko Barcelona na some few hours Bayern for so try the also mu ye bia eno so abrante no asa bagu onim se Bayern for ne sa increase o musika no akra ne se da bi onko ope Barcelona na kwaku aha sei ana mehu se Nico Williams ne abre Barcelona no onim se ni sika o ne Barcelona agree ye no aye 12 million euros eno ne ye gross ye nyante tax no ye te tax ana bonuses ka ho a 7 million euros kwaku die me ye ma hyeme ne ye say Nico Williams aka che ba sampanyin for say send salary ni mpokro mbesa ate mpokra no metimi dia register no monte so e chere how abrante na ye desperate so be join Barcelona enti Nico Williams say ne salary no so mbesa ate mpokra no metimi dia register na omonsa enti so nti kwaku die ba no Manchester for latest offer for Brian Mbeumo and so 60 million pounds Manchester at the air co Milos Kekes and Liverpool die no Bournemouth for na tiskane so aba 40 million pounds na Bournemouth for air 45 every Liverpool for omo de call a year 40 million pounds kakra e free ho so air ba nti kwagu
okay
ensam ne de edoso mehwe menkrata no so a edoso bebre o say abrante friend say Kwanza Liverpool center back
Jarrell Kwanza
yes wakache Liverpool for say Liverpool sin obeko
onko
obeko Liverpool sin no
ebeboa no
enti Liverpool for say okwa eni okofa Magei edi naba Magei free Crystal Palace edi naba
Mate
Manchester so ne Benjamin Sesko asha ase Manchester ene Benjamin Sesko asha ase
okay come
Sweetie Biggie
Kogu
Hey. Kogu Mama Shasia from a Club World Cup games about Real Madrid. To be honest, Real Madrid and the Al Hilal Kwakubo game. May assure say you would do I expect to say you more game na I am pono. Now Real Madrid na just the victors and I say Madrid a carry the day. Now Madrid a share Al Hilal, now Madrid calling him. That was the expectation for a lot of us. Because if you say one Real Madrid an European team and a very big club for that matter, the biggest of all clubs. We are only free one more. Al Hilal and to free Saudi Arabia neighbor. It's a team of free Saudi Arabia no Real Madrid. They certainly you catch you say Yibakwa, even without looking at the quality of players, both sides. Team will be in the first Real Madrid and as a team of free Europe and so ever. Game in the shas, you know. Adiabakwa me who you say. The Real Madrid team is going to need time to adapt to the kind of footballer. Coach friend says Zabi Alonso eba babeche. Football me nim say. When it comes to football, most of coaches, any players, obia first season adaptation. Coach in the bar, afraid no babeche ball or opposite team the ball. Na players and those who are adapted. And in football, they be a made to talk classroom home. Koku obi IQ or soropa. If the coach and the chair tactics and the system na quickly na fa na player corner tia na obona niema kon kind of mano. You obi nso so ho no coach and the chair de ne sesia entimi mfa. Obi hia time kaka ansa na watimi apeke. Obi ho no latter stages of the coaches ade na or another season no ansa na watimi apeke because ono na dwene eda ne team nso so ye different. Into all these things a play a role with the performance at Real Madrid bobo ko ne dan na die na. Etinami nkonko expect a lot when it comes to a play of the Real Madrid team, but individually, quality nim nanto mbabebo, especially those who are new, and aname kwa helmo. Me who Dinhausen, clearly, me that kind of thing, I mean, who ye Nations League, he played as an established central defender for Real Madrid. Play on Real Madrid team na che. Raul Asensio. I'll be expected to be a leader at the back. And no me who Dinhausen rather, who was a leader at the back for Real Madrid Bobo Kono. Ono na echere. So are you ready? So Real Madrid Bobo Kono betimi abo. Why are you ready? So coach the philosophy. And in the game plan, obetimi executing it well. And so the Real Madrid Bobo Kono. It's the performance I was dined in the just ended season. Our benefit of team nim. And the who you Nations League nim no. It wasn't just by fluke. A branch and twice so enra. Emma Yehu ni more more. On Raul Asensio, that penalty committed was bad. If he was a gamer, now Real Madrid any abre, so being your points at the qualifier corner him. It be a Champions League semi-final, be Champions League. Make us say an all-important gamer and Cabrante and let's say Real Madrid down. That penalty at that stage or at that moment of the game, it was so poor. From player friend say Raul Asensio, it was needless. And they have to talk to him.
I say, oh, you're overly aggressive, Nancy.
Yes.
He got to impress.
Minim say Sergio Ramos tag now with the man in the quality because that tackle was needless. Then for be any so. On player friend say Trent Alexander-Arnold. Kwaku. Say what Trent Alexander-Arnold. You have to know say player now what on offensively or a lot of options. But defensively, that is where the player's deficiency is. On your players a pressure back team so now you defend there obetimi aboa a lot when it comes to defensive duties. Nancy ya hundu no Mendes no. Full backs are or combining offensive duties and defensive duties. But Trent Alexander-Arnold the ntesa. And defensively, leave a lot of spaces. Defensively, Obo say a opponent in each so. But offensively, and in the first half, he was among the players that normally completed a lot of passes for game. Real Madrid. The passes for boy in the first half, no, he completed 84% of those passes. In the game or minutes or last day, or called the final third of the pitch 12 times. Until clearly, offensive Jumani Yobo Abranti and Eboa. But when there is pressure on Real Madrid, a better ding, and so the Amasa Abranti and to me a lot. He didn't really have so much of a good game. But then again, yeah, man, another row. And so Real Madrid Bobo Konima. Now all boss an inverted fullback. And definitely a bit creative problems Kakadi Amano until so be adapted to the coaching system and then to the Real Madrid team and Kata. We are only free one more. Adiaba Kwame who say in the absence of Kylian Mbappe, Real Madrid at times struggle anymore. I am saying this because Gonzalo and as a Gonzalo, the young player who started for Real Madrid and now as a striker. Real Madrid, Castilla Honoma, he's been a very good performer. This season at the Castilla level, about 36 matches and watch 25 goals at that level. It will be a prolific. But at the senior level, and clearly, Real Madrid needs to get another body. I don't know about in the absence of Kylian Mbappe. I'm going to be informed into
Enrique.
Enrique is there, but Enrique also nankasane ba Real Madrid no kwaku. Bisa was a farmer nana. Enrique our Brazil was a different Enrique from the Enrique we've seen at Real Madrid.
Okay, let me ask this. Say options in Niwa between Gonzalo Garcia and Enrique. Uno ya Jabi Alonso abe for hana.
Mefa Enrique.
Okay.
Yes.
But still, now Susu said the level in Yendru.
Of course. Say Oba, you know, the kind of performance or the there have been times I will no opportunity or boy. But at least that consistency will be here from a Madrid player. Team now will come. There are standards set by players. So my team be down. We are going to grade your performance based on the standards of Omo Medica Babe Bonasete. You can't say Fernand Munyadi. You say Frank Garcia Munyadi. They are not so bad. But you heard the Real Madrid left back position. Marcelo Mobo no Mobo any standards no mo set you know. When mo the no form too much. It is based on Omo Medica Babe club the standards no mo set you know. You the grade you. And then until I make say Madrid making sure so Mubenyo obi and so was our position anymore. In case a Kylian Mbappe knew one, that token wouldn't be felt, and they have to work on their penalty taking. The last 19 penalties are Real Madrid. Almost 12, no, say 7. They've only converted 63%, and it is bad for a club like Real Madrid. Juventus Susubo game. Now there are 2 people in the Juventus team. I'm happy for them. First of all, your coach Araujo. I am one person that I need trust. I will coach in Mukra. But about for Juventus Bobo no. The other Juve person or say at least baby all form dear free no Champions League no free and that Thiago Motta. And this one no baba be fatim na. Remaining matches now I can all make sure so betimi ayere ne ho. Na odo am qualify for the Champions League. Eventually otimi yes adwuma no. E wo hono odo am qualify for the Champions League. Or qualify we no ya man a contract. There are a lot of coaches I be anko be relente. Anko onye so much serious, onye that focused to perform for Juventus Bobo. But after saying a real league season, no, over 9 matches in the league, Obabe taking over. A winning 5. No, I draw 3. No, losing just 1 against Parma. Almost started Club World Cup. He's picked up from where he left off in the season. The first matches were about 5. And so it is good for him. Oh, yeah, no, if you want to play a friend, it's Randall Kolomwani. Kwaku, I am happy for the player because at a point, na player friend is a Kolomwani or Paris Saint-Germain, a surplus to requirements. Onya be more because of one coach in the system and then the disbelief in the player and the player and if you want to any Juventus and that Thiago Motta okay the first match for Juventus omu lose 2-1 to Napoli no she go back at the Mabo Boko no. The second game Juventus win by 4 goals obo brace. The third game Juventus win your signs obo brace. It's in the first 3 matches for Juventus no I share 5 goals the Diamond Juventus Boko no. The last time a Juventus a striker Otimi achieve afitini was Roberto Baggio. It's na yet den. And the other strikers don't know competing. No. It's na Oba name kon kind of no. And then coach a friend Thiago Motta leaves the scene. Ono na de Obaye. I got to the Obaye no. No only so much trust in the player. It was as yes or bench no. No one used to design Vlahovic. And so man about Juventus Bobo anymore. But a brand here say anytime he gets the opportunity or trying the possible best, say Juventus Bobo call him baby Biamani Pen say he's a good player and he's in to stay. And not getting the opportunity. Our club World Cup anymore. Was also about 2 goals at the Juventus Bobo Kono. And after that 2 goals, reports and in Italy. And on the timelines, and so say Juventus are shall see Paris Saint-Germain didn't come. So almost sign per brand any loan biome. Not possibly this time around, almost they are ashamed with an option to buy. Because anytime be a brand any opportunity, and for say coach, you know, not only so much trust, on your opportunity be deliver, and it is good for the player. I am happy for coach. A friend say I go to the any player, and so a friend say Randall Kolomwani, Mohamed Kudus. I feel said this is the time I want Mohamed Kudus make a move. Seriously speaking, if we have any pabiasi so now Bobra, Obia wa ambitions. Obia obotaye sin any so. And the ABA, there are times when you are making a move. The whole hand is a baby, I could say, and a baby. But who could do one we are now, say, baby, or baby, I could pay him. I say, to me, pray now call. I remember those days when we were kids at Obama camp. I had a friend. I was on only crew. None in Pibo in an Obaba be Piacra, because when you told me Piacra, we are Brabono. But Obe drew a crown. And on who saw more crown and so pre-come be a friend is average. It's your fate, Obe 13 new goals and the targets, and so the man. Mohamed Kudus as a player, it was Ajax, a good player for that matter. Performance and it was so Obe goals in the gum. Oshe Ajax. Now they are to West Ham United. West Ham United compared to Ajax in terms of history and status. Ajax so change West Ham United. But West Ham is in the Premier League. almost that kind of make us audience any attention. It's not Kudus in that Premier League attention. Eddie marketing now he's been there. The assessor Abranti and the club no why. The assessor or chairman Pons on him born Abranti and actually. In the just ended season, Ebiana numbers didn't say the previous season, but the woman say Mohamed Kudus and West Ham United Nankasa Yinano season 9 Shadan Koye. So if there's a new suitor, a project on one building, the new coach feels or trust room. I'll bet me a platform more perform here. It is a deal was our brand and trying to push him and go through. Anya Biampono, Tottenham Bebo Champions League in the coming season. West Ham United in Count or Mobi or the 14th. It's that alone. I feel that Champions League platform, any BBA Mohamed Kudus, and he has to force his way through for this move to happen. I was our brand and push it.
Okay.
Ferdinand Amaya who say we play out to me man for pressure me at home. Yes.
Okay.
Also on Leeds United, they be no chairman in the office. Manchester force you open Bamenko. Me pesemeko. So you have to do things to make sure so Bobemoko because that platform is going to help the player and we need him to get into the Champions League.